Hey everybody, how's it going? So I have this problem. I have a gigantic music folder and everything is in utter disarray. I think there's like over 30,000 files in there, and I think some of them are mislabeled, some of them are duplicate, many are in the wrong path, some have typos, and so I just have these notes to myself. It's like, oh, fix your music folder. Oh, fix your music folder. But that doesn't acknowledge the reality that the music folder is really, really big, and this has to be an ongoing project. So I think the first thing that I need to do is some sort of an organization system. Now, I want to be able to compare my MP3 folder with my Apple Music library, but I have to get a handle on what my actual files are. And so that has to start somewhere. So let's take a look here. Music. Okay, I'm not worried about this other stuff. I'm just worried about the music folder. So it looks something like this. And if we click Properties, then we see there are 30,641 files. Now, I think that some programs insist on fetching, like album art and stuff. So it's probably not actually that many files. Let's see. I don't want that. So, okay. No. This is stuff I'm going to have to deal with at a future point in time. So I want to start off by making a basic snapshot. What is it? os.walk. How does that work? os.walk. My path. Okay. V equals. Let's see what it does. Obviously. Print length v. Let's see if I've understood how this works, and I absolutely have not understood how this works. Object of type generator has no length. Okay, walk my path. Wait a minute, that's not the right location. Okay, so far off to a bad start. Let's see here. How do I get all the files from this folder? I wasn't sure how this worked, and I don't want to write my own recursive function here, so let's just boom, like this. All right, come on, Gemini, you're supposed to be fast. I guess I could have switched it to Flash. Okay, let's see here. Back. Okay. All right. So let's see what this does here. Probably don't need that twice. dir names, file name, and os.walk, full path, all files. Now all files contains the path to every file. Okay, how does this recurse? Oh, I see. Okay. All right, so this should get it. 0 files found in total. Now that is. Oh. Yes, my path store, and then my path read equals d:\\. I don't need that double. Music, right? Run. My path is not defined. That is true. So. Okay, really? I didn't know it could print that many lines that fast. Huh? I guess my computer's faster than I thought. Maybe they've updated the IDE so it doesn't lag. 30,641 files. That sounds good. Let's say extensions equals set, and then we are going to say extensions dot add and then we will just see what all types there are. Print extensions. Probably don't need the full file path. Run. Okay, MP3, AMR, WAV, FLAC, PNG, MP4, MP3, JPG, WebM, WMA, BMP, M4A, INI, MP3. Okay, I was not thinking this through. We want to go lower. And it looks like everything had an extension with a period like we expected. So, yep. Okay. Okay. Split this into two sets, audio and non-audio. All right. Because I think AMR is an audio file, but I just want to double check. M4A is obviously an audio file. Wave MP4. Now that, what MP4 do I have? That doesn't sound right. Shouldn't that be like a music video or something? Okay, well, apparently I have some MP4s in there. We're going to leave those in there. Video, image, and configuration. Does WebM potentially contain audio as well as video? I don't know if WebM is like an anything format. Kind of like a... All right. Let's just give it the benefit of the doubt and say the MP4s and WebM are both audio files that are just in an unusual format. So these are the ones that we want. Okay, acceptable file formats. Let's see here. WebM. Okay. MP4. Note that WebM and MP4 are technically video files, but we're probably just whatever. I can infer later. Okay, so individual files like this, and then we say extension equals like that, and then if extension acceptable file formats, then individual files. Yeah, we want str file path like this. Print individual files 0 through 5, just so that I see what we got and make sure that it lines up with what I was expecting. All right, that looks good to me. So print length of individual files. Probably don't need the preview. We'll go like that. And there's 30,630 files, so pretty much all of them. There's a little bit of garbage in there, but whatever. We'll deal with that. Now I want to see if I can save this data and restore it. So we're going to say, how are we going to do this? We will say all file data equals, and then it's going to be file name. Oh my God. If I typo again, I'm going to tantrum. Holy crap. All right, and then it's going to be file name. You know what? I don't agree with this. We'll call this, I don't know, row number or something. Row now? Row now? Okay, row number like this. And then global row num counter. And then, yep. Row num counter equals 0. And then, yeah. Then we will simply save it into our snapshot. Okay. Okay, come here. Make a method which returns a unique JSON file in the following path based on a sortable date. Example, year first, month, 2 digits, day, 2 digits, etc. down to the second. All right, I can never remember the date formatting string stuff, and I don't really want to figure it out right now, because that is not what I am trying to test. Okay, get... Yeah, probably don't need all these comments. All right, so here, month, day, hour, minute, second. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say we don't need the milliseconds. So, yeah. Or microsecond, whatever it is. Okay, if I were going to do that, I would put like a GUID or something at the end. Okay, now we're going to say my snapshot file name equals, and then the base path is my path store, like that, and then we are going to say with open, oh, that was correct. Encoding equals UTF-8 F. Okay, yeah, that's basically what I was going to do. Hold on. Indent equals 4. Autocomplete is kind of nice, actually. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Did I import JSON? Yes, I did. Okay. Now verify that it wrote and can read correctly, because I'm worried about weird characters inside of file names. This has caused me a problem in the past before. This is not like just some random paranoia that I have. Okay, so data equals json.load f. That is correct. And then we are going to assert that data equals all file data. Right? And this should ensure that that everything worked. So we're going to have start time equals, what is it, time.time? Yes. Why you know import. Oh no, which one? I think it's that one. Yeah, end time. We're going to say print. Come on, elapsed time, because this is going to cease to be instantaneous pretty quickly, even with my NVMe drive. So, yeah. Run. Data equals all file data. Okay. My assertion is failing. Please modify my assertion code to give more meaningful explanation of what the deviations are. I was afraid of this. I don't necessarily know how to fix it offhand, but we will deal with it. Maybe converting to JSON is a mistake, or maybe this is trivial and we will work through this. Your assertion is failing because JSON does not support integer keys in objects. When you use JSON.dump, your integer keys. Use string keys originally. All right. Okay, I can do that. That was, if that's really all that's wrong, then that's kind of nice, actually. So let's go str row num. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's see if the assertion passes. I thought it was going to be something much more complicated. Oh my god. That is beautiful. Okay, let's say d : / backups, music snapshots. Yeah, I thought it was going to be much worse than that. Yeah, so we got file name. Okay, this is actually pretty sweet. All right, okay. Now I would like to add additional data for all of these. So yeah, let's go in here. I want a new chat, and I'm going to switch this to Flash to get the fastest answers. Okay, right now this is not. Right now this is just storing file names. Please add file size and I don't know, last read write. What else? Well, I mean, eventually I want to get like MP3 tags and stuff like that, but right now this is probably all that I should I add a checksum? Probably. File size and last read write. I would like to add the checksum, but it's not done yet. So, and that's going to take a while. So let's see what this does. We can do this a step at a time. You're on the right track. Add file size, last read write times. You need to use the os.getSize. Okay, so iterating through individual files instead of using a dictionary comprehension directly. Switch to a for loop to allow for more complex data gathering. All right. All right. Verify that it wrote and can read correctly. So let's run this again, and let's see what it tells me. It does take a very slightly longer amount of time. Yeah. Last modified. This is more a Windows question than anything else. But if I rename or move a file, the last read-write stays the same. Correct? Renaming a file within the same volume, last modified, does not change. Last access time. Okay. Moving a file, last modified. Okay, that's what I want. I want to be able to move things, but still be able to reference them by time. Yes. Okay. Generally speaking, would an audio file remain the same in the middle if the tags were edited? For example, if I made an SSH hash of the bytes at position 1 million through 1, would those remain static in most cases, even if I edited the MP3 tags? Oh, stop with the sycophantic shit. Just answer my question. Generally speaking, yes. If you make an SHA house of the bytes at positions 1 million through 1.25 million, those bytes would remain static in most cases, even if you edit. Impact of... All right. Okay. Okay. I have an NVMe drive. If I wanted to generate hashes of all of the files, would multiprocessing help? I mean, specifically, generating hashes of more than one file at a time. Okay. Multiprocessing will very likely help significantly when generating hashes of many files on an NVMe drive, especially if those files are moderately sized or large. I/O bound versus CPU bound. Exactly. That was the concern. It's like if it reads fast enough, then it's going faster than the processor can move. Then that's the case when... All right. Let me see. Example, conceptual. All right. Memory usage. Each process will consume its own memory. If you have a very large number of files and your hashing function is memory intensive, unlikely for standard hashing, you could potentially run into memory issues. However, for typical hashing, this isn't the case. Okay. So, all right. What is the largest file size that I have? Okay. This is stupid. Well, I don't need it to write code for me for that. I have the data right here. If I want to know how big the biggest file is, then I can just grab it myself. Yeah, so I don't want to write because I'm just getting the statistics. So file sizes equals... Yeah, X for X in individual files. No, no, not in individual files. In all file data dot values. Okay, and then file sizes dot sort, and then we will go print all file sizes sum equals sum of all file sizes, and then we will go divided by, that makes it kilobytes, that makes it megabytes, that makes it gigabytes, gigabytes, like that. Yeah, and then we will say max file size is, I mean, that would work, but that wasn't how I was going to do it. And then we were going to say 99th percentile, let's see, file sizes. No, that is not correct. Negative length of file size. Stop helping me, please. You're not helping right now. Yeah, and then 75th percentile. Okay, and I don't care if it's off by 1 or something. I just trying to get a general idea. Yeah, let's see here. All right. So all file sizes is 219 gigabytes. Is that close to what we were expecting? Music, properties. Okay, yeah, that's pretty damn close to what we were expecting. So 99th percentile is 39 megabytes. Okay, so most of them are 39 megabytes or less. And 99th percentile is no. Something is wrong. Nope, this is right. I've gotten it backwards somehow. So max file size is 633 megabytes. Okay. Is that right? Probably like some giant wave file that I have or something. Kilobytes, megabytes. Yeah. What the hell is that? What do I have that's that large? Star, I guess. Advanced search. Size is, how do you do this? All right. Okay. For k comma v in all, okay, if I don't know, v of is greater than 100 megabytes, then print v. Thank you. And while you're at it, print the file size as well. I'm curious what the hell's going on. All right. Okay. Oh, they're my FLAC files. Okay, I get, you know what, that actually kind of makes sense. Cozy karaoke with Nanners? What? And I have, how long is it? It's MP3 and it's that big? MP4.mp3. Okay, this is like an entire album, and it's really high quality. All right, I guess this is not that crazy. There's nothing that's so large that it doesn't make sense to make a cryptographic hash for it. So this is still going to take a while, though. So, all right. Let's go through here and let's let. Actually, I'm going to go into Claude. So, look at my code. Please modify my code to generate hashes for files. There will be 2 hashes. One is for second megabyte hash. That is from byte 1024 times 1024 through byte 2 times 1023. Exclusive. Note that some files may be too small for this, so we will simply return NA for them. Okay. Generate a normal SSH hash on the entire file. Note that since there are many files, we should do this in 8 threads. Divide the work ahead of time, randomly, and then join the threads. Note that if join the threads and collect and write the data. Note that if what am I trying to say? If a read or write fails, this should not crash the entire application. Attempt to calculate remaining time. Okay, divide the work ahead of time. Using what? And mostly evenly based on file size. Note that if a read or write fails, this should not crash the entire application. The hash returned should simply be error. Okay, attempt to calculate the remaining time to give some kind of indication. This should be calculated based off total bytes processed, not off individual file counts, and updated in its own thread so as to not interfere with generation. Updated every 2 seconds, I guess. Sure, whatever. So, yeah, let's see what it does with that. I have certainly written code that generates SSH hashes before. It's just this saves me of having to Google, which method did I call? All right, I'll help you modify your code to add file hashing and multi-threading. Here's the updated version. All right, let's see what it did. Boom, 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 boom. Process files, process monitor. I have a feeling that this is going to take too long to record in real time, but that's okay because I need to go to the gym and work out. This is a step in the right direction. This is not the end all and be all, but okay, so let's see here. I modified the code. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? I guess we shall see. All right, generate snapshot. I should probably put this code with the backups because I'm going to say, oh, how did I generate this information? But you know what? If this runs correctly, then I can do that. So let's see what this does. All right, starting hash calculations with 8 threads. Holy crap, that is fast. That is insane. This is SHA-256? Oh my god, I thought it was going to take way longer than this. You know what? I haven't done this. I haven't done this since I upgraded my CPUs and I upgraded my my hard drive. And usually when I'm generating hashes, it's in a single thread. So I'm not really sure that I want to generate this every single time. All right. I think if the read-write time is the same and the file name and path are identical, then, and the file size is the same, then we could say that we used a cached version of the hash. All right, snapshot saved. Let's take a look at it, and the entire thing only took 107 seconds to run. I was definitely expecting this to take longer. Let's see if there is an NA. There is. Okay, and not unexpectedly, it's a very small file. And then let's see if there is an error. There is no error, so it generated something for everything. I wonder how many NAs there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's quite a few NAs. That's fine. So yeah, that is awesome. Okay. That went pretty fast, but it was still technically long enough that I don't think we should do it every time. Modify the code to scan the directory for the latest generated data, and do not recalculate the hash if the what? If the file name, path, and size and last modified are all identical. Add a key that says used cached hashes and set it to true if the hash is used from the last run, and set it to false if what? Okay. Add a key that says iterations since rehash. Iterations since rehash, and set it to 0 if the hash is new, and increment it every time we use the last known hash. Okay. Once the number hits 10, we regenerate in case the data has changed. It's fast enough. That shouldn't be a problem. All right. Now, if this works correctly, then it should generate a new JSON file which uses the cached data. All right, load latest snapshot. Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to do this every time. That would be a pain in the butt. Come on. I'm wondering if I should do the MP3 tags separate. No, of course not. That's stupid. Why would I do that? All right. Yeah, we want to get all of the data in the same place, and then we can, I don't know, keep track of what we have or have not modified. All right. I'm pretty sure that even if you had a slower hard drive, you would still want to use multi-threading so that you weren't waiting on the CPU. You know, you want to stagger it at least a little bit. All right, let's see if it just works as advertised. If so, then it should generate a new JSON file pretty quickly. Loading previous snapshot, files to rehash, took 3.7 seconds. So obviously it used the hash data. And literally nothing has changed, right? Well, no, that is not true. Iteration since rehash has changed. Yeah, and it's going to keep incrementing and incrementing until it eventually runs again. So let's see here. I want to see the code that does that. Okay, should rehash. Okay, that way if, I don't know, a file got corrupted on disk or something, I would at least have some record of when it happened, assuming that I'm running this with some sort of regularity. If I'm not running it, then, you know, there might not be anything that we can do. So let's see here. Okay. All right. New Python file. We will call this get mp3 tag info. Yeah. And then, okay, let's switch contexts here. I should probably stick with one, but it's kind of fun. Okay. Write a Python file which uses an existing library to attempt to fetch audio data like artist, title, etc., and put it in a dictionary. If reading is not possible or there is no data available, simply return an empty dictionary. Also, put the read in a try block in case there is an unexpected exception. All right. Okay. Python file which uses an existing library to attempt to fetch. Okay. Mutagen library. I don't know if I've heard about that or not. Okay. All right. Let's see. No, we're not doing it like this. Print, I don't know, d:\, \music, \music, \. Is there going to be data in there? Not necessarily. Wasteland, 10 years, the autumn effect, track number 513, date. All right. All the values in the dictionary are going to be strings, correct? No. No, it's an array of strings. Is that what I want? Let's see what it says. Tag values is lists of strings. So the current implementation. Lists of strings are fine as long as it's nothing more weird. Like date objects, etc. You'll only ever get Python list of strings or empty dict. Even tags like date or track number come through as string values. So everything is a list of strings. Oh, okay. You know what? That's fine. Okay, so get audio metadata. And we're going to put this here. Okay, would modifying tags of an MP3 result in the modified date getting updated, or is that dependent on the application doing the change and having implemented this function? I think I know the answer, but depends on the application doing the modification. Damn it. Okay. I'm curious how long it would take. You know what? Let's just fetch it fresh every time. Hopefully this is a lot faster. All right. Get unique JSON path. So at some point we have to iterate through the files. Files to rehash versus files to skip. Divide files by size. File name, individual files. Okay. So now we are going to do MP3 data. And we'll say so for 4K, V in all file data items. Sounds good. Can I update it like that directly? It's just a dictionary, right? Well, you know what? We'll try. We will try. We will say v of tag info equals get audio metadata of the file name. I have no idea how long this is going to take. All right. Extracted in string match generic type VT got dict instead. I never said it was int string. I never said that. Why is it angry at me? All right. So let's see. Items equals 0. Done. Whatever. Done plus equals 1. Print done times 100 divided by crap. I just deleted exactly what I wanted. Yeah. Percent done of MP3 tag extraction. Okay, loading previous snapshot. Oh god, that looks like shit. Okay. Okay, let's come here. I wrote this snippet. Please make it multi-threaded with a better update mechanism. Okay, I'll create a multi-threaded version with proper progress monitoring system. Okay, concurrent futures. Hopefully the library is multi-threaded. Where is it? Update tags processed. Process tags batch. Create batches. Alrighty then. Boom. Where's the imports? We don't need you anymore. All right, let's see what this does. Boom. Loading previous snapshot, using 8 threads for parallel processing, tag extraction. All right, this may be more doable than I thought. All right, 28.1 seconds. I would like to see what that looks like. Music, no, backups, music snapshots. Yeah, let's see here. So, tag info, artist, album, track number, date, second. All right. Now, if we have a tag info, then we should probably use it for the comparison. So let's go in here. And if the tag has changed, then we just assume that it's different. So rehash should rehash. If not previous info, yeah. So if current info, then come on, auto-populate. Know what I want. Just magically know what I want. I hate you so much. Okay, file name. It's right here. All right, if the tag info changes, if could it crash? If tag info in previous info and current info tag info doesn't equal previous info tag info, then return true. Yeah, looks good to me. So iteration since rehash 2. All right, that looks pretty good. I think that we've done a good job of grabbing the individual file data, and I'm probably going to have an LLM look at it and say, are there any of these that seem like they completely have a different file name than what the title and artist would suggest? And it's going to be important that I review those changes, obviously, so that it doesn't go crazy. But I think that that is a good starting point. But what I need to do, what I said was this, open an Explorer, generate snapshot, copy, and then // backups, music snapshots, archived version version of generating script. It's a little pedantic, but the point is it's not the current version, but if you want to know how these things were created, then here you go. Date modified. I don't think we need this older stuff. We hadn't quite formalized the structure. So yeah, now the next thing we want to do is how do I extract Apple Music lists? How to export a list of song artists. All right. Create a new playlist while in the song's view. Export playlist, not export library, sends a tab delimited file to a text file that can be opened in Excel, and then you can organize. Okay. Really? It's that easy? Spotify made it difficult as shit. Okay. Let's see here. Library. No. Playlists. All playlists. Favorite songs. Download, play, copy. Okay, what? Am I missing something? Library, export playlist. Library. Where is library? Library. Is there like a title bar or something? Is this like something you used to be able to do, but like they got rid of it or something? What if I just copy? Nope. Okay, export. Export. Well, maybe I got excited for nothing. What is the date on this? 2019? All right. Let's do Apple Library to CSV and then look for something recent. Let's see. Past year. Export, download your Apple Music playlist to text or CSV. I was expecting to have to use a third-party tool, so why would you want to? This is an excellent. Hell yeah, it's excellent. You know, I used to use Spotify. I loved Spotify. I loved their recommendations. But it's just they got greedy. They wanted to apply the algorithm when you were shuffling a playlist. And hundreds of people in the forums were begging them for years, just give us a true shuffle. We're not even saying that you can't have this I don't know what you want to call it, smart shuffle or whatever. It's just give us a way to turn it off. And they would not budge. They absolutely were opposed. And then they started putting duplicates in the release radar and what's the other one? The Discover Weekly playlists. That was one of the things that I loved. Every other playlist in the world has duplicates. Your favorite repeating songs, but these two were special. These two were unique. That was every week, fresh, 60 new recommendations. Now, it wasn't guaranteed that you hadn't heard one of the songs in some other place, but as far as Spotify goes, it was unique. And then they got rid of that. So I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. It's like, I mean, if it has repeats, then there's no incentive for me to consume it every week. if I miss something and it's important enough, it'll just be on next week's. So yeah, and now with this new conspiracy that's going on with, they have fake artists that they don't have to pay royalties to. It's just like, yeah, I'm glad that I switched services. But anyways, I got sidetracked. So let's see here. Probably want money or something. Okay. This is what they're going to do. I'm going to click start for free, and they're going to say, we can only export 100. Give us money. Yeah, transfer your playlists and your favorites. Okay, let's see what the limitations are. Connect all of your favorite music platforms, convert your playlists one by one, access to standard tools, up to 200 tracks per playlist, only one active sync. $5. So for $5, I can export everything, right? That's what you're saying? I knew this was going to happen. I knew it wouldn't be free. I mean, from an automation perspective, the alternative is trying to extract these fields using Windows messages, and I don't know, there might be some utility that tries to prevent you from doing that. I don't know how much they can do it. Or if you want it to be even more ridiculous, I could make a video of myself scrolling down the screen, and then I could extract the text using OCR. I did something like that once to get the text out of a copyright-protected ebook, but it was a gigantic pain in the ass, and I would really, really prefer to not do that again. Now, the question is, do I not want to do that again so much that I'm willing to pay $5? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably yes. Now, the question is, can I trust these people with my credit card information? Just heard about that giant data leak with the app T. Everybody wants to make an app. Nobody wants to use proper security on their websites, which is slightly offensive. But on the other hand, how angry can you be, at somebody for not knowing what they don't know? You're supposed to be an entrepreneur, I guess. I guess our culture values that. And not everybody knows everything. So, I don't know. Maybe I could use PayPal or something to limit my exposure. Okay, I'm definitely not paying for an annual subscription. This is going to be a one-time export. Get started. Sign in with Apple. Sign in with Google. Okay, I'm about to enter personal information, so if you don't mind, I'm going to pause the recording. All right, so I have connected to my Apple account. I have created an account. I logged in just with Google, whatever. And it looks like it has import. Oh, my phone heard me say the G word. So yeah, this is my Essential Voltaire This is my Essential Voltaire playlist. I selected it because I knew that it had less than 100 items in it. And yeah, this is probably my favorite non-pop, non-metal artist. So let's see if we can export this. Export. Maybe convert to. I've seen multiple services like this. There must be like an API or something that powers all of them. No, that is not what I wanted. So, clone, shuffle, split, empty. There we go. Export as file. Oh, nice. I actually prefer JSON. Premium, oh God. I wanted to be 100% sure before I gave them money, but I'm 99% sure. Okay, but why am I leaving the page? Okay, let's see here. So just completely automatic. Okay. I don't even know what card this is going to, but it is going through link, so okay. Yippee-ki-yay. I had better make a note to myself to cancel that. So transfer, synchronize, generate playlists. The full library. You know what? If I get my favorites and I get all these, is there like a full library option? You know what? If there isn't, I can do it like this. So I'm just going to go library, songs. Now this should be a lot. And I'm going to say, well, let's say new playlist, library snapshot. This should get me everything in the library, right? Okay, library snapshot. Now I'm coming in here to songs, and I'm copying everything. And where is it? Is it instant? 1,795. I thought it was bigger than that, but you know what? That is fine. That is fine. And if something isn't in a library, but it is in one of my playlists, then we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. So, this works better than Spotify. I think more people should switch to Apple Music. Honestly, I tried a few different ones. Each of them had a specific reason that I didn't like it. I tried to use Amazon Music, and their desktop player was so buggy that there was literally things that I couldn't do. I don't mean it was like troublesome or I had to do something weird or like literally I couldn't share a playlist because like it had only been tested with up to 10 and there was no way to scroll. Usually you can get like some, okay, I'm rambling. That doesn't matter. So let's come back over here and synchronize. So I should have a library snapshot, right? Refresh. Library snapshot. Now it's expected that it's going to take longer to populate. Okay. So yeah. Let's export as file. And we will go JSON file. JSON is the easiest to deal with. And then we can repeat for every one of the individual tracks. or I mean individual playlists, I'm sorry. And then if there's something that somehow didn't make it into my library, but it is in my favorites, for example, then, you know, we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. So, confirm. Okay, download file. Library snapshot. Oh, beautiful. And we have a track link, which we can use as a unique identifier. This is absolutely beautiful. Best $5 ever. Okay, so let's see here. Playlists. Okay, export as file. Well, I don't want to export that one as a file. What? Back, maybe? Title. Essential Amanda Palmer. Export as file. JSON. Confirm. Download. Essential Tiger Lilies. I wish there was a batch, but whatever. Okay, Essential Voltaire. This is where I started with. Export as file. JSON. Actually, hold on. I want to actually look at what this is here. So, artist. Oh, look at that. Oh, God, that's exactly what I want. All right, okay. Not complaining, not complaining. So what I need to do is I need to make sure that I have an MP3 file for everything that appears in my music library. And if I don't, I need to figure out some way to match them up. So I need to audit my data. Favorite songs. Export as file. JSON. You know what? You don't need to watch me do this. I will end the video here. And there will definitely be a follow-up video, though, when I start figuring out a process for auditing both my MP3 library and, well, no, just my MP3 library. So, see ya.